Looking at this structure from the outside, it doesn't look like a neighborhood. It's a single block of concrete. This diagram shows the scale of what was inside. Crammed into a footprint of 6.5 acres, roughly 5 football fields, were 33,000 people. That equates to 2 million people per square kilometer, a density 70 times higher than modern-day Manhattan. The perimeter was an assault on the senses. Because the settlement sat adjacent to Kai Tak Airport, residents lived with the constant shake of cargo planes passing mere feet above their rooftops. This enclave functioned without state police, building codes, or government oversight. It was a sunless fortress. When Britain leased Hong Kong in 1898, one exception was made. A military fort remained under Chinese control. After World War II, refugees flooded this spot. Amid political tensions, neither country took responsibility. It became a sovereign donut hole, a no man's land. Where the state steps back, other powers fill the void. Without police presence, triad syndicates like the 14K and Sun On claimed the territory, openly operating heroin dens, gambling parlors, and brothels. This left 33,000 people in a vacuum overseen by organized crime. In those conditions, the expectation is societal collapse, but that is not what happened. The architecture reflected that survival. When ground space ran out, residents built up. Without architects or permits, developers stacked concrete units until they reached 14 stories, forming a vertical labyrinth. Many of these towers lacked proper foundations. They were called lovers' buildings because as they settled and tilted, they physically leaned against their neighbors to stay upright. Daylight rarely reached the lower levels. Residents navigated corridors, dodging a constant rain from leaky pipes, while a web of pirated electrical wires hung just overhead, patched together by anyone tapping the grid. If your home relies on your neighbor's walls to stand, you cannot live in isolation. The physical entanglement of the concrete forced a social reliance among the people inside. An unregulated economy sustained the population. Medical professionals trained in China, but lacking British licenses, opened dental and medical clinics. Nearby, thousands of small sweatshops churned out textiles and food products around the clock. To manage the friction of living shoulder to shoulder, residents formed the Kai Feng, a grassroots mutual aid society. They established unwritten rules to handle emergency fire safety, trash collection, and neighbor disputes. While the triads commanded the dark lower levels, a different world existed above. Families cooked meals in 70-square-foot rooms, and up on the rooftops, children played and did their homework in the sunlight. Left to their own devices, the residents did not succumb to anarchy. Necessity forced them to build a functioning, self-regulating ecosystem. As the 1997 handover of Hong Kong approached, Britain and China found common ground. The walled city had to be dismantled. They formalized its end in a 1984 treaty. The government allotted $350 million to compensate the residents. While many accepted the payouts, others refused to abandon their lives. Eventually, the state deployed riot police to assert authority and force the final holdouts from their homes. By the year 1993, the wrecking balls arrived. Heavy machinery tore through the labyrinth, ripping open the cross-sections of thousands of apartments and erasing decades of history in a matter of months. The people inside spent decades building a community out of scrap and neglect. The government solution was to wipe it from the map. If you visit that footprint today, you won't find neon signs or leaning towers. You'll walk through a sanitized public park with manicured gardens and pristine stone paths. The concrete is gone, but its architecture survives in our imagination, becoming the visual inspiration for the high-tech, lawless cities of modern cyberpunk pop culture. Kowloon Walled City is often remembered as a chaotic slum. But for those 33,000 residents, the lack of law and sunlight didn't lead to the end of their society. They found a way to cooperate, build order, and create a home where none was provided.